All right. Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today is Wednesday, which is, of course, Wild Wacky Wednesday. See, it says so right there. Today we are going to be doing a book review, not a magazine review, but a book review for the 1997 30th anniversary of Speed Racer. Now, if I'd have been thinking about this, as I said on Monday, I'd have started the Speed Racer review on next year for its 60th anniversary. But alas, I didn't think things through, and there'll be plenty of other things we can do for 60th anniversaries or 50th or something. So, having said all that, uh, it's a fun book. And if you would, just please watch a little longer than normal and like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Do you have the book? It goes for ridiculous prices now, which is insane. It was a whopping $11.95 when I got it sometime around 1997. I had it by 2000 or 1999. So it's one of the first books of its kind. Anyway, we'll get into that. So leave me a comment about it if you could, and like, share, and subscribe. So having said all that, let's jump into that powerful Mach 5 and let's roll. It is time for the live action portion, showing you that I do indeed have this book. And I wish I'd have had it in 1999 when Corinne Orr and Peter Fernandez were there at G-Fest 1999 in Burbank. But I did not. I didn't know they were going to be there. Didn't know I was going to end up hosting a panel with Damon Foster. Oh, that might have been 2000. The years have blurred and the mind wobbles. But here's the book. Again, it goes for about $100 now used. And mine's in really good shape, but I'm not giving it up. There's Jack Grimes, the voice of Sparky and Chim Chim. We'll see all these pictures better detail. I should have found that picture of me or the picture I took of Corinne and Peter together. Wish I'd have had one with me. But the book is quite good. It's written by Elizabeth Moran, who has done some other books, but not very many. She obviously loves the show, though. It comes through in every page. So there's that. And we're going to just do a little dance here before we see how long Clipchamp will record this part for me. Da-da-da-da. Here he comes. Extreme close-up, Speed Racer. Okay, so the book was released September 4th, 1997. September 4th is my sainted mother's birthday. And there's my cover of it. The inside, Hyperion. Elizabeth Moran has done a few other books. I looked there, and it looks like she's her main other one for genre fans is Brady Mania. I liked the Brady Bunch. It was inescapable growing up in the 70s. But I don't know that I need to know that much more about it. Oh, there's a 25th anniversary edition that is not available. Maybe that's there's one. Well, it says format 2 from maybe it might be interesting, but it's the Brady Bunch. She does some other books about I Ching, Complete Idiot's Guide to I Ching and Feng Shui. Like I said, nothing really genre other than speed here. So, but it's runs about 150 pages because there's IXs and XIs and XIIs, but it's really well done. It's got color pictures. I don't know if anyone drew them because they don't always look like the exact. Some of them had to be screen grabs here and there. But this was before. There were episodes released on VHS, and the movie version that was out was on VHS, I believe. But there was no DVDs. There was no sets of them yet. You couldn't see the whole thing. Although MTV had shown at least the first 26 episodes, with some slightly what did they used to call it? Sped. It was compressed episodes. So the voices were faster even than they had been. Anyway, here's our acknowledgments. Peter Fernandez, Speed Racer and Racer X, secretly Speed Racer's brother. Just a wonderful man. I had the pleasure of talking to him once in depth about Marine Boy, and I can't put him over enough. The late Peter Fernandez. Out of all of the voice actors, only Corinne is left. So here's the introduction, and she says she watches. I watched a lot of television. Now, who didn't? I mean, but we did not get Speed Racer in Fossil Bed. That was something I only saw in Kaiser, West Virginia, courtesy of Channel 20, WDCA, the greatest channel in the world, or greatest station. Take your pick. And just lovely shots here. Now, I don't know where she got these from. She didn't say. But we go to the theme song. There's the lyrics to Maha Go Go, Maha Go Go. So Peter Fernandez wrote the theme song, the English version, based on the Japanese one. So it's not exactly a direct translation or even a transliteration, but it works. They're very catchy songs in both languages. There's the cast and crew, the cast of Speed Racer, which is the cartoon cast. She has a lot of quotes there, so I don't know where she got all of these quotes either. I probably should. I could reach out, and she'd be an interesting interview, I think. But there's Speed. They talk about how some of them, Racer X, who of course is in secret Speed Brothers' older brother Rex, which is Shooting Star Car. Chim Chim and Spritle. Trixie, who they don't even say how old she is. Chim Chim is 7 years, 11 months, 23 days, and 8 hours. So he's almost 8 years old. And who knows? They don't even say how they got Chim Chim. There's Sparky, who's probably the same age as Speed, who's got to be roughly 18. Pops, and then Mom Racer. I kept calling her Moms because why would it be Pops Racer and not Mom's Racer? But Domestic Goddess. And then we get to the Mach 5 supercharged Formula One. One of the coolest cars ever. I mean, they're up there with the Batman, with the Batmobile. In fact, maybe Chitty Chitty Bang Bang could be qualified since it flies and those don't. Name me some other, if you know some other super cool cars, let me know. There's of course, 350 kilometers per hour. That's insane. And his helmet with infrared shades. But there's the cockpit, or the button control, which, of course, again, we just saw on Monday, and how they work. So I wish that I'd done this first, but I did not, alas. Oh well. And then you get the history. So this talks about, cartoons in Japan before they were known as anime over here, but from Tatsunoko Promotions. And there is your obligatory Osamu Tezuka reference. And just how you could tell it was Japanese. I don't remember when I figured it out that it was not, because their lips, while the dubbing cartoons is a lot easier than dubbing live action, you can still kind of tell. Interestingly, Peter Fernandez told me that it took them 8 hours to dub one episode of Speed Racer and 30 minutes to do the voices of an episode of Marine Boy, which was because Marine Boy was dubbed into English first, before it was dubbed into Japanese. So they just read the scripts, and that's how it went. I thought that was interesting, but they said it was a lot easier to do 78 episodes of Marine Boy than 52 of Speed Racer. I'm glad they did both though, because they're great. So there's the manga, aka the comic book, which I don't know if it's ever been transliterated over here, but tracks to the United States. It just explains everything, which we all know by now, and the extreme violence. And it reminds me how extreme the violence was of this show. I mean, They didn't sugarcoat stuff. People blew up and had to have died, although they did kind of cover it up sometimes. So our chapter 5 here is the voices of Speed Racer, and there is the voice himself. And of course, Peter was a great man. He so great that and humble that he did not take a voice credit because he was writing the episodes and already had one credit in the end credits. So he didn't. He thought it would be bragging, which to say that he was the voice of Speed Racer and Racer X and several of the other voices. They all did double duty, triple duty, quadruple duty. There's Corrine, who was also the voice of Snuggle the Bear. She said at G-Fest, I think it was 2000 now, that when she would ask Peter what voices she would be, if the voice she would be doing was a man or a woman, he would always say yes, or a boy or a girl, because she did young boys as well. Marine Boy, Chim Chim, and Spritle. I guess they're both boys. Jack Grimes, who did Sparky and Chim Chim, and then Jack Curtis, who also was involved with, I want to say, The Flesh Eaters, which we've reviewed, which is another movie I love. I did review this book way back in the second series, early on, maybe even the first one. I want to say like episode 125 or something. I'll have to look at some point in time. But so now we get to the episode guide for Speed Racer, which I've glossed over a lot of. She's got ratings down there out of five Mach 5s, which makes sense. And I don't know that there were any poor episodes. Some are better. See, she gives a great plan. Just 3. Mask Racer 4. Most Dangerous Race. I guess with the 2, she combined them. And I saved some of them. Mach 5. There's Inspector Detector. I don't remember. She doesn't give his Japanese name. The Car Hater, which is very famous, but only got 2 stars. She did not explain her ratings, why she thought they would. Just that's what it was. Which I think is a missed opportunity, but the book would have been another probably 20 pages if she'd have given a commentary about them, which is fine. There's a giant spider, and then from Crash in the Jungle. And I did include the Desperate Racer because that was the episode that I saw that I remembered seeing all the time. And it was due to the pineapples and the diamond. And we won't get to that for several weeks. Race the Laser Tank. And see, now this looks like somebody drew it. But this is such a valuable, it's really, I don't know why I do an episode, a book about Speed Racer in Zenorama, but I might. And then Race Around the World, Part 1 and Part 2 are the final episodes where Speed becomes the champion. Oh, spoiler alert. So it is an ending, even though it's not framed that in the US version. There's the credits for both the Japanese and US one. It was syndicated pretty quickly, pretty quickly. So they knew it was a hit, and it was a big hit. I mean, you ask people of a certain vintage, they'll know who Speed Racer was. Even younger people won't. I mean, the 2008 movie was far away, another, let's say 20 years. No, 10 years. Geez, only 11 years. So there's a trivia game. These, of course, where did Trixie get the money to purchase a helicopter? We've talked about this, and just wander around with them in this one. So we do know it well. So then I had the copies. I bought all the Now comics. There was a brief resurgence there of Speed Racer in the when did that say? Early 90s, mid 90s? Yeah, 93 when Speed Racer made somehow. So even that for 66. Geez, well done. Episode 66 issues. So here they're talking about they'd option Speed for a movie, which they did not make for 20 years. I guess maybe David Hasselhoff. Oh my gosh, Dick Butkus. So William Conrad. Oh man. Chim Chim, Bubbles. Oh jeez. Trixie. Look at all of these names. Valerie Bertinelli, Phoebe Cates, Tawny Raquel Welch's son. Her daughter. Pee Wee Herman as Sparky. Will Wheaton would have been fun. So the Speed Racer show was a compilation that they did. I remember seeing it advertised when I was up in LA, going to see to go up to Little Tokyo and books Kinokuniya. So there's some real life racer who would never be able to beat Speed, and now he's doing ads. Sold out, Speed. Sold out for Volkswagen. And I want to say 13 episodes. I don't even know. Fred Wild, or Fred, yeah, what his name is? Fred Wolf. There we go. So I don't know that I've ever seen this. I might have seen one, but it just looks wrong to me. It doesn't look Japanese at all. So then they did a new one here. This was 1998, but that was only about 35 episodes. I don't know that it's redesigned. I mean, it's redesigned, yeah, but is it better? No, it's very much of its time, which all of everything is. And what the hell Spritle is, or Chim Chim, a prototype, I know they made it. So, yeah, until 1998. So, yeah, she hadn't seen it yet. So this is just pre-production designs. Speed looks like a dork. Sparky looks like he's 12. I don't know. I've never seen it. Mach 5 looks okay. It's just not as sleek and cool as the original. I mean, I understand why they'd want to make it a little different, a little more modern, but remember when they did that to the Corvette? And then they went back? So I guess that's the underground garage, the Speed Cave. I probably should call it that. Racer Cave. So now we've got the glossary. Courtesy Peter Fernandez. There you go. Some places you can buy stuff from, which is they give you, occasionally acquires Speed Racer cells. Then you go to his website, which I doubt's there. And there's a picture of Elizabeth and her husband, and I doubt you can reach her at primenet.com anymore. And there's the last page of the book where Speed's going, which he did a lot. And there's the back cover of the book, and we are about done here. So, my fellow agents, until let's get over here. Oh, and there is the Funimation Speed Racer Blu-ray set, which is now out of print as well. They also did a deluxe one, which allegedly has the Japanese episodes with English subtitles. Never saw it. Wasn't about to pay for the gigantic bust of Speed Racer. And that music is from the Speed Racer movie, the 2008 one. Tomorrow, the final 4 episodes of Kikaida, Android of Justice. So, until then, my fellow agents, this is X7 signing off and phasing out. And we're dropping the flag on this particular episode.
俺の名は破壊だ潰せ壊せ破壊せよ胸の回路に指令が走る俺の使命俺の宿命機械だを破壊せよ破壊せよ